So has expired. Senator Paterson.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is for the Foreign Minister, Senator Payne. Can the minister update the Senate on recent developments in Hong Kong?
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Payne.
Thank you very much, Mr President, and I thank Senator Paterson for his question. Mr President, Beijing has this week disqualified 4 duly elected Legislative Council lawmakers. On the 11th of November, the 23rd meeting of the Standing Committee of the 13th National People's Congress in Beijing agreed to a resolution that outlines disqualification criteria for members of the Legislative Council, including an unspecific reference to endangering national security. It is the view of the Australian government that the disqualification of candidates to members severely undermines Hong Kong's democratic processes and institutions, as well as the high degree of autonomy set out in the Basic Law and the Sino-British Joint Declaration. Australia has issued a statement. Australia calls on authorities to allow the Legislative Council to fulfil its role as the primary forum for popular political expression in Hong Kong, to remain a key pillar of the rule of law and the one country, two systems framework. We urge the Chinese government and Hong Kong authorities to uphold their long-standing commitments and international legal obligations. This is critical to maintaining international confidence in Hong Kong. This latest measure follows earlier developments that have also concerned Australia and many other nations. It continues an approach that steadily erodes the rights of the people of Hong Kong. Australia and the international community will maintain a consistent focus on human rights and principles of freedom, of transparency, of autonomy and the rule of law, and will continue to monitor developments in this matter closely.
Senator Paterson, a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President, and thank you, Minister. Can the minister advise the Senate how Australia is working with our international partners on these issues?
Senator Payne.
Thank you, Mr President. Australia and partners, multiple partners, have made a number of joint statements on concerning developments in Hong Kong, including previously with Canada, with New Zealand, the United Kingdom and the United States. We have also done so with partners in the UN Human Rights Council and the UN General Assembly. These have included the imposition of the national security law, the disqualification of Legislative Council candidates and postponement of elections, and the violence during pro-democracy protests last year and early this year, including by Hong Kong authorities. The importance of continuing to monitor, to speak in defence of, rights and freedoms of people in Hong Kong is an ongoing focus for the Australian government.
Senator Paterson, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the minister explain the importance of continuing autonomy and a high degree of freedoms in Hong Kong?
Senator Payne.
Thank you, Mr President. The international community has a very long-standing interest in Hong Kong's prosperity and stability. Australia itself has a substantial stake in Hong Kong's success. The city is home to our largest commercial presence in Asia and our biggest expatriate community globally. Beijing committed to autonomy and freedoms to the Hong Kong people under the one country, two systems principle set out in the Sino-British Joint Declaration. This is a legally binding, United Nations registered treaty. It also provides that rights and freedoms, including those of the person, of the press, of assembly, of association and others, will be guaranteed by law in Hong Kong. As I said in response to Senator Paterson's first question, Australia and the international community will maintain a consistent focus on human rights and principles of freedom, autonomy, transparency and the rule of law.
Senator Wong.
I seek leave to make a very short statement.